All right, everybody, welcome back to the Lions Pit podcast. I am your host, Nick Gomez. With me today is my good friend, Francheska Martinez. How you doing, honey?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad you can make it out here. Like I said, it is a little bit of a trek out here, but such a beautiful studio. So for me, it's always like worth it to come out here. Absolutely worth it to come out here. I love being out here.
It's nice. We're out in the country, though.
Out in the country, yeah. But I like the country.
I saw cows.
Yeah, I saw cows, a chicken, just one. Yeah, you're from Florida?
Yeah, like city girl from Miami girl, if you know about that. But yeah, I grew up in Miami. Love the beach. Very basic.
Yeah, you were like born in Miami?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in the 305.
In the 305, the 30 filthy. How about that? That's what you say for Albuquerque, because Albuquerque's 505, so we just call it the 50 filthy.
The 50 filthy.
Yeah.
It sounds right, on brand.
It was pretty fitting. I always tell people like Albuquerque is geographically beautiful, but it's a tough place for sure. Have you ever been?
No.
No, you never.
I've only heard stories about like people getting beat up outside of Walmart.
Yeah, outside of everywhere.
It's like Fight Club, but like as a city.
And everyone talks about it. Yeah, sometimes you get beat up in Walmart. You don't even have to go outside for that.
The clerk comes and I was like,
yeah. Can you unlock this for me? No. Yeah. So it's New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. You got anything planned?
I'm going to a rave tonight.
You're on a rave tonight?
Going to a rave, and then one of my best friends rented a house, so I guess we'll go and like play charades and like pregame. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Any big New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't really do New Year's resolutions at all. I'm really like a fundamentalist, so like whatever way I want to live my life, like every day is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
So like I started that yesterday. I'm starting it today. So I don't wait to do something.
Every day is a new resolution.
Every day is a new day.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's super cheesy, but it's true. Like I never believed in New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. I can't think of any that like I've ever like really set, like I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing for New Year's. And then like I stuck to it and like finished it out for the whole year, or is like totally life changing and like that. Because I mean, I think everyone has good intentions with their New Year's resolutions. Obviously, a lot of people are, especially people around the world that we're in, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna get fit for the New Year's. I'm gonna join a gym for the New Year's, or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna stop drinking. I never really had like a set in stone New Year's, so therefore like I never really like followed anything through. But I mean, like last year I started 75 hard like on New Year's Day. And it really it was more of like 75 sober with like more workouts. Like I in fact I even like stopped posting about it because I was like, all right, like I'm not reading 10 pages a day. Like I was listening to an audiobook some days. So like the tasks on their own aren't that difficult, but like combining them every day for 75 days like consecutively is what makes it difficult. But there's also things where I'm like, I don't really want to totally follow a new diet. Yeah. Like I can do like flexible dieting and just continue to eat what I'm eating, but in moderation, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. There's one of those things where I was like, I had friends kind of calling me out on stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like one of my buddies called me out for drinking Coke Zero. He's like, you can't have Coke Zero on 75 hard. And I was like, why? It's 0 calories. And they're like, yeah, but it's still a Coke. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like I'm 75 sober is what I did essentially. But it was good. Overall, I think it went well. I have done it in the past where I was like, I really stuck with it with a group of coaches back in Albuquerque. And it's great. You know, I think it's great. But then I'm not gonna lie, the very first time I tried it, I listened to the guy that created it, Andy Frisella. I listened to a podcast he was on, and it was just like so off-putting.
Really?
Yeah, because he's very like in your face. Like I don't know his back. I don't know much about him.
He sounds like he's not fun, just based off the structure. 75 hard.
Yeah, but he's like the one thing I specifically remember hearing him say is like I know only 2 of you fucking pussies are gonna complete this. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. Like, that's not the kind of like motivation that like resonates with me. I'm not gonna follow up with that. And
Same.
As soon as I heard that, I stopped doing it that time, and I was like, all right, I'll try it again later.
It's funny you say that because I was at the gym with a friend, and they were like really trying to like hype me up. They're like, you got this. You can do it. And like one thing too, I was trying to like lift something, and you know this. I'm one of these people, like I'm strong, but like I've had old back things. So like I don't want to mess up my back again. And they were like really trying to be like, you got this. And I was like, that's really not working for me. But also like the negative reinforcement doesn't work for me either.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be like from like a real place or something like you're just like gassing me up for no reason.
Yeah, it's all lip service.
Yeah, it's all lip service. But yeah, I could see how that 75 hard is like almost like so strict that like I get it. Most people aren't gonna finish it because the protocols are kind of insane. I actually had no idea that you couldn't drink. Like any sugary drinks or
Yeah,
alcohol or nothing on it.
Yeah, no alcohol, no cheat meals. Yeah, that kind of stuff. You have to follow a certain diet.
I'm not
I
doing
know some
it.
people it's great for, but like again, I think overall it's a good idea. It's like for me, I'm not gonna lump it in the same group as or same category as CrossFit, where I'm like, overall it's great that it's getting people active and like burning calories. So like 75 hard, it's great that it's getting people like at least focusing on a certain thing.
Of course, yeah.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, like it's definitely designed for like a certain demographic, and I'm not it.
Same.
Yeah, like I will just continue to be like a pretty healthy guy, and I can push myself harder. And I probably this year I'm gonna do high rocks, so I have to push myself harder.
I feel like you're also good about consistency. Like even most people, like just because we're trainers doesn't mean we're actually moving our body and being consistent.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then there's people that just go super hard. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave some names out of it, but we've had some guys, some coaches in the gym lately. I posted videos of like throwing heavy ass sandbags to each other and tossing each other
catching
heavy
the sandbags with each
kettlebells.
other.
I'm like, guys, like, I mean, awesome that you can do that, but I really hope none of our like regular gym members start trying that.
Oh, they're gonna try it.
I know, and that's a bulging disc waiting to happen. Yeah, or a broken foot. You see the kettlebell one?
Oh, that's
Yeah, that one was nasty business. So how did you get started in fitness? I've seen you post pictures, especially recently, some pictures of you like back in high school.
Yeah. So the whole thing started because when I first got into college, like most of us, we like eat fried Oreos at like 3 o'clock in the morning, binge drinking alcohol.
You stopped doing that?
I still eat fried Oreos, actually.
Right.
I had one the other day. But like I was starting to get like super, I hate to use the word, but it's super true, like super skinny fat. Like I was still like kind of like a petite person because I'm a small person, but like my body composition was just like absolute like fluff.
Yeah.
And like cottage cheese is the best way I like to say it. But I'll never forget this one day. Like someone took a photo of me from the back or something. And I was like, man, I'm starting to look like my grandma. I was like, this is not it. And my grandma's a very voluptuous woman, but like it wasn't muscle to say the least. So I was like, man, like I'm like getting a body composition that's like not something that I want. And I was still active.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Like I was working out, mostly like cardio type stuff. So I was like, all right, so since I'm already moving, obviously it's my diet, but I realized like there was kind of like a big gap in my knowledge. I was like, I want to learn how to put on muscle because I know like that's great for your like metabolic health and like longevity, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And I had a dance background, and with my dance background, I was always getting hurt. So I had like a knee issue as a kid. Like I like busted my elbow, and like it like the elbow thing kind of like ran into my shoulder, like anything, you know.
Right.
So I was already kind of like botched, and I was just like a freaking 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid. And then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take exercise sports science as an elective, like just take a fitness class just to learn stuff. And I fell in love with it. I was like, holy crap, like this is a whole world. And it was such a generic class, but I think it was so like mind opening because like a lot of it was from a health perspective, not just like sports training or like, you know, performance.
Yeah.
So I think I really just fell in love with it, like for sure from that one class.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you play any sports growing up?
Not really. Like I dabbled in sports. Like I did like karate, I did soccer. When I was in college, I did like flag football. I was always into like cycling, but nothing super organized.
Yeah.
Every time I did an organized sport, like for example, soccer, I was like, this is too much. I'm not into it. I was like, it's too aggressive. The girls are beating me up.
Too much structure.
Too much structure.
I need to play.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
The only thing I stuck with was dance.
Yeah. And what do you think, like that college class, like what do you think made you fall in love with that? Was it like a cool teacher, or you just like the knowledge of like, oh, like this is what muscle growth can do for you?
It was just the knowledge of how much we can do with our body and realizing like most, like your general population has no idea about how like movement affects your health and about how like longevity is like focusing on longevity only isn't going to like keep you healthy when you're in old age, but it's actually going to help you like age gracefully. And I think the biggest impact for me was realizing like biomechanics take a huge role in like recovery, and like the way we do stuff also reflects like everything, honestly. Because I think I also like as a kid I was like, man, like I can't even sit upright. Like I had no core strength, like everything was off, and then like I had no hamstring development. So like when it came to running, like I had no brakes. So a lot of us that are into biomechanics, like your hamstrings are your natural brakes. So if you don't have hamstring development, like you're overusing your quads, your knees are getting shot. So just like kind of really learning about like how the body moves and like using that to like be a better human. Like that for me was just like bee's knees.
Yeah. The like the human performance of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what does it take to be a balanced individual? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, especially it's funny to hear you say these things, because I've always known you as obviously like someone very fit, and for you to say like, oh, I didn't have hamstrings, I'm like, wow, you have great hamstrings now. That's wild.
Thank you. And it's funny because I'll never forget. I told you like a knee injury when I was young. So I went and I got like it was just like a chronic sprain. Like I was like in a brace for like maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
And when I went to the doctor, I was like, okay, I sprained my knees, but like I've had pain in my knees like before the sprain and after the sprain. Like what's going on? And he looked at my body and he goes, your quads are just super overdeveloped and you have like no hamstrings. So even like as a kid, I was like, how do I fix this? Like he never gave me a tool to fix it.
Yeah.
So like I was aware of these things, but like, okay, am I just going to live with no hammies for the rest of my life?
Guess that's it.
And then like, if you go, like most people are just like, oh, well, like just do some squats. But like, I'm still targeting the freaking muscles that I'm like overly dominant in. And like, I don't feel anything in the hamstrings. And funny enough, it took a certification with Shane Hines to feel my hamstrings for the first time ever. And I was in my mid-20s. So even after all my exercise sports science training, I was still never able to like get like a sensory input from my hamstrings. It took like so much work to be like, my hamstrings are alive.
Yeah, was that the first time you met Shane?
No, actually, I've known Shane and I've done a bunch of certs with them, and they kept talking about like that feedback of like, actually feeling an engagement in your muscle group. And I was like, I was silent through the whole thing, and I'm like, maybe I should raise my hand, because I've been to another certification where they talked about the same thing, and like I don't get it. Like I cannot feel my hamstrings. So I like raised my hand, and Shane is super like inclusive and super big about like not being shy, and like your question might, like give insight to somebody else.
Right.
So I raised my hand and I was like, look, Shane, like I hear everything you're saying. I've been working on this like in my own practice. Every cue you're giving me, I was like, I still cannot feel the hammies. So he really just like taught me how to like increase the torque and really like biomechanically like just like flex them throughout the motion. And I had like a whole light bulb moment. But I think the whole issue was like I'm hypermobile. So my hamstrings would just stretch and stretch, and I could never like actively contract them consciously. So they were just like rubber bands, and I was like, ah. So yeah, that's the hamstring story.
And that's the hamstring story. That's funny. Yeah, it's interesting to hear you say that, because like for me, all it takes to like feel my hamstrings is to have like a good anterior tilt to my hips. And I'm like, oh, I feel my hamstrings like pulling, and like that is an instant like cue for me like to hinge or whatever. But yeah, Shane's the man.
Oh, Shane is a guru.
Yeah, I was tell him that he's like Master Shifu from Oogway, Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda, the old turtle.
He is so.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll take that. That's a good compliment. I was like, yeah, man, that's you. Yeah, he's the man. I met him for the first time probably in 2017. Was the first time I met him. I came out for the foundations.
Beautiful.
Yeah, back in the day, it was when the sports performance area was like the hard mats. It was back like 10P and Bang Muay Thai back there. And there was like weird like rails back there that we were like hooking up the heavy ropes to. It was almost like something you'd tie a horse to. Like if you're like going to like an old school saloon or something. I don't know how many saloons you visited in your time, but they have those posts out there to tie your horse to.
I've been to a saloon or two. No.
Yeah, I helped. You know who Cowboy Cerrone is?
No. Oh wait, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
I do know who he is.
Yeah. He former Onnit sponsored athlete. That was my connection with Onnit, was working for him. But it was actually during COVID. I went out to his ranch and I helped him build a saloon.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was fun. Other than like his ranch hand like dropped this massive piece of wood on my shin when I had it like posted. I was sitting on a pig pen. Yeah, I was sitting on the rail of the pig pen. We were like laying up these like 2x8 like big ass boards on the side of the walls, and I was holding one, and his ranch hand was like holding the middle one, and he dropped it and it just swung down and cracked my shin as I was like pushed up against the wall, and I was like, I'm not even gonna look at it because it's probably bleeding profusely. And it was one of those things. I was like, I still have a scar.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, like for a little bit it felt like I had like a little dent. I was like, oh fuck me, that hurts.
You might have a little dent.
I might have a little dent. Yeah, nothing major. I lived.
That's iconic though. You remember like the whole pig pen situation as like almost getting your leg chopped off.
Yeah, thanks to Juan Gonzalez. He was actually out of Texas, but he was the ranch hand out there and a fighter as well.
Cool.
Yeah, good times. When did you make the move out here?
In 2018, January of 2018.
Oh, so you're coming up on
7 years.
7 years. Yeah, that's quick math because that would have taken me a while to get that.
It's insane. But yeah, I do remember one of my first workouts On It that were really memorable. Speaking of fighters, I did a workout with Mighty Mouse, and it was so freaking cool. Like, he was so nice.
Yeah, he's a legend.
I knew he was a legend too, but like I became a fangirl after that. I was like, he's so amazing. He's so polite, a fantastic athlete. Like, you ask him to do anything and he does it like he's done it 20 times, 30 times. So that was iconic.
Yeah, you guys are probably like the same height too, huh?
1,000%. I think he probably only has 10 more pounds on me, like, for sure. He's super petite.
Yeah. He's and then now that he's actually retired now. He just retired. But he's on the Mount Rushmore of fighters. Like, he is one of the all-time greats for sure. A lot of people consider him in like the top 3 of like him, John Jones, and GSP. Like, who's the argument?
I do.
Well, honestly, like there's a very good argument. I think he defended his UFC belt like 12 times, and then another 2 or 3 more times when he went to ONE FC and they're an Asian promotion. But he killed it over there because he's big on Twitch. I think is that like the video game streaming thing. So he's really big on that. Because he's a huge nerd. But people love him. He's brilliant. Probably like the most athletic fighter that's ever graced the octagon. Like, he's done moves in the octagon that like they had to put into video games. Like, oh, we didn't know that was humanly possible. And he did it to one of my friends and one of my former clients, Ray Borg. He went to like suplex slam him, and while Ray was like mid-air, Mighty Mouse like switched to an armbar. It's one of the wildest highlights you'll ever see in MMA.
I need to see this.
Yeah. He like landed in an armbar, and everyone's like, how is that a thing? But that's Mighty Mouse. He's phenomenal.
He's like literally like breaking freaking physics.
Yeah. That's a fighter that like if I were to see him at On It or whatever, like I'd probably freak out a little bit. Like, holy shit, that's Mighty Mouse. Like, I've been around like some pretty like high level fighters, but like Mighty Mouse is again a legend.
Same. I was like tearing a little bit. I was like, what an honor.
What an honor. Nice to meet you, Demetrius. That's cool. And then what got you started with Animal Flow?
So with the Animal Flow, that one was just kind of happenstance. So I started working at like one of the first gyms that I worked at for a pretty decent amount of time. And part of like a lot of gyms where you're a coach and you're on the floor, part of it is like getting familiar with the other training that the other coaches are doing and like what your programming is for the client. So we had a lot of Animal Flow in the programming. And then I think they just realized like everything they were showing me was like super easy for me. One, I had a dance background and I have a breakdancing background. Not great.
So if I just bust down like a cardboard, like if I break down a box, you can like
do a little 6-step, little 12-step, little up rock or whatever. So the Animal Flow was super easy for me. So it's ground based. You're like jumping around on all fours, like yoga-ish moves. So I guess all my coworkers were like, you know what, we need to like figure out what's her limit. So they kept giving me harder and harder combinations. But I just like would do them as if it were like a dance routine. But then I was like, man, like I'm for sure not getting like the active stretches out of this that I'm supposed to. I didn't have like any technique or like mindfulness of like what we're supposed to engage. So I kind of got really obsessed with it. I was like, okay, I like this system. Like it feels good, but like I want to get more benefit out of it. So then I just went and did the cert before moving to Austin, actually.
Oh, so you did it before you came out here?
Yeah, like on the drive. So I had like a community with Animal Flow that I like dabbled in. So then on the drive over, I stopped in Orlando, did the cert for 2 days, and then continued over to Texas.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's something that, like, I really want to get into. And I had Mike, why am I drawing a blank on his last name?
Fitch?
No.
Palsner?
Yes, Palsner. Thank you, Michael Palsner. I had him come and do a little workout with the MMA team. So I think that kind of stuff is so good for MMA fighters. Not only, like, the ground control kind of stuff, but like the mobility, like fighters really need to like open up their hips and shoulders because they're gonna get into positions that'll expose that kind of stuff. So back like in New Mexico, like when we were working with fighters, like our third day, we had 3-day programming for our fighters. It was like the fighters that we worked with, their heavy sparring and like wrestling days were on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays when we would train them, it was all like durability flow stuff, like the stuff that we learned at like the On It durability cert. And I've always been a big fan of that. And it's always something like I've wanted to learn more of. Like I know like a base of it. But I was so happy to bring in like Michael to like put the fighters to like an Animal Flow thing, and they loved it. But it's something I would definitely like to get more into.
Yeah, it's super beneficial. And for me, I think what I love most about it is like it feels like I'm giving my spine a massage. Like some of those like spinal movements, and there's a lot of extension, a good amount of twist too. Like for me, it's like a spinal, like
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yeah. I always say like, I wish it was like a cartoon and someone just like pick me up and like wring me out. That's probably what you're talking about. Yeah. For me, it's always like shoulders and hips. Like every time I do like a animal flow workout, I'm like, gosh dang, like my shoulders and hips feel so good. Like I need this in my life. Like I should do it like once a week.
More than that.
More than that. Well, I'll get with you and get on a routine.
Sprinkle it in, you know, throughout your week.
Yeah, especially like I'm 37 now. I'm old as hell. Yeah, and it's something like that's only going to benefit me like more and more and more as I age. Like I want to age gracefully, like you said. Like I should really start adding in some mobility, especially like even if it's like black swan yoga, just like something like that. But like I always tell people, and this is how I'd break down to the fighters. I was like, animal flow is like athletic yoga, and that's not a knock on yoga because I love yoga. But like you said, it's kind of like a more active, like tougher yoga.
Essentially. And I think what's really awesome about it too is like when people do it for the first time, they're like resting their like legs on the floor and they're like really like putting their bum on the floor. And I'm like, that's cute. And it's great that you're doing that, but like get off the floor, like hold yourself off the floor. And they're like, hold on, I have to do that the whole time. I'm like, yes, like your knees don't touch the floor ever.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of core engagement.
Yeah, it's a lot of core.
Yeah. But I mean, I see like you and then you were training with Angela, right? And Shane, like always in there getting it. I'm like, I should be doing that. I'm over here like busting my ass like in the coach's workout or my own workout or whatever.
Someone, I'm going to keep them anonymous. So we have a very sassy person at the gym. Love them. We're all friendly there. But they really came to me kind of condescendingly yesterday about how like they were like, you don't need good music for a great workout. You like get yourself lost in the sauce. And I was like, that's cute and everything, but like, why are you projecting onto me about like saying my workout's like too easy right now? I was like, I can read through the lines. Like I'm also a sassy person. Yeah. I was like, today's a play day. I was like, don't come to me all condescending. Like I'm trying to feel good. Like I'm not a 27-year-old dude jacked up on testosterone. Like Sunday is my rest day. Yeah. Like leave me alone.
Yeah, you are very sassy.
I am very sassy.
It's a good thing though, because you're what, Colombian, Dominican?
Cuban and Colombian.
Cuban, not Dominican. Okay, Cuban and Colombian. Yeah. Every time I see her, I'm like, she's sassy. You got the curls. Like I was like, all right, it's going. Yeah. It's a whole vibe.
And I told them too, I was like, if you're gonna come with me or come to me with sass, I'm gonna double down. So
yeah, sass meets sass. Yeah.
Like, don't tell me my workout's too easy. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah. What would you say is like, if you had a client come up to you and be like, hey, Francheska, like, what do you, I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole you into like a specialty.
Oh, pigeonhole me.
Yeah. Like, what would you say? Like, if someone was like, what do you specialize in?
I always tell people I'm a strength coach first.
Yeah.
Like I'm a movement coach if you want to be a little bit more like eclectic or avant-garde. Yeah. But for sure, I think I'm a strength coach first. And for me, I think strength encapsulates so many different things. And I feel like sometimes when we think about strength training, like we imagine like a barbell, but strength training could be body weight. Strength training could be joint mobility, like literally strengthening your joints to different ranges of motion. Strength training could be like learning how to like properly realign your spine and get spinal health back. Like I think strength comes in so many different aspects that I think we kind of like overlook it as just like, oh, it's weight training, but it's like strength training is getting strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, I think like, I agree because a lot of people hear the word strength and honestly are instantly get like turned off or intimidated. And it's like, so I like to reframe it as like resistance training.
Yeah.
Resistance can be your own body weight. It could be water, like if you're in a swimming pool, or bands or whatever.
A little skinny band, it's still resistance training.
Yeah. And I always tell people like when I travel, I'm like, really all I need is like a decent band and I can get like an okay workout, enough to like maintain through travel.
You just want your bicep pump anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm all about like the beach muscles, obviously. But seriously, like people get intimidated and turned off by the term like strength coach or strength training. But I got this from my mentor. He always used to say strength is king. And he's like, at the end of the day, strength is king. And it's so true because as we age, whether you're picking up a bag of groceries or your grandkids, like if you don't have the strength to support your skeletal system, like you're going to get some injuries. Or if your tissue isn't like properly prepped to move in a certain way because you haven't done it in 20 years. That's why you see like some of these guys. I remember playing softball in high school. I played baseball, but my brother, his work had like a softball team, and he like asked me to come out and play, which was totally against like the rules because my baseball coach freaked out when he found out I did it. But there was this guy on their team, like this old hippie dude, like in the mountains, like cool guy. He's just out there. You could tell he probably was athletic when he was younger. And he's just like sprinting his ass off everywhere. And I saw him like a week later and both of his hamstrings just severely bruised.
Oof.
I'm like, dude, you have some massive tears. I'm like, you should probably like go to a doctor. He's like, yeah, I'm just real sore. And he like pulled up like the back of his shorts. And I was like, holy shit, dude. It was like just like really black and blue. I was like, dude, that is not
Hairs
good.
up in there.
Yeah.
Beyond bruises.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. You are bleeding out, my friend. You have internal bleeding.
Reminds me of that one time where I accidentally got rhabdomyces. Yeah.
What were you doing?
There's this thing that we, I don't condone it, but it's in the fitness space and it's like one of these new technological little hack workout things. And a lot of it is, it does have a therapeutic purpose. I want to speak lightly because I'm not knocking anything, but I think we're using it in the wrong way that it's not intended for. So it's like those electrodes, they're like the industrial electrodes that they put on you. A lot of it's for people that have like spinal issues and like a leg that doesn't really fire, and they're trying to get the muscles to like fire correctly and stimulate it and get like a neurological, like reaction going. So I did one of these workouts and I have a very high pain tolerance. Like I've known this my whole life. This is also why I get hurt in the gym. I'll do stuff and I'm like, just it feels a little hard and I'll get hurt. So I'm aware of this. But I went and I did that electrode workout and it was a lower body day. And they put them on my hamstrings and I think it was only hamstrings and glutes.
Yeah.
And they put me through a whole workout. And the lady asked me, she's like, she turned up the machine and it's literally like a huge machine.
Yeah.
And she turned it all the way up and she goes, do you feel it? And I'm like, no, I actually don't feel it at all. And then she goes, do a squat. And I go, I can't squat. Like my hamstrings were so contracted and locked that I literally couldn't move, but I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
So obviously like there's something going on.
Yeah.
So then she lowers it a little bit and then she's like, do you feel it now? I'm like, not really. And then she's like, well, just do your workout. So I did my workouts like on a 7 out of 10 for the electrodes. And then I finished the workout and it just felt like normal challenge, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And I did light weights too. I wasn't using heavy weights. And I left the workout and I was like, man, I don't really feel well. And my friend's like, oh, you'll feel fine. So I go home and my partner at the time, super sweet guy, Eric, Mr. Primal Soldier. Yeah. We're like foot to foot on the couch and we're like from a distance. And Eric is super observant, but like, how about this? This scenario never happened before. Yeah. He looks at me and he goes, your face is kind of red. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I don't know. Your face is so red right now. I don't turn colors. You've known me for a while. Have you seen me with a tan or red on my face? No. So I was like, that's so weird. And I was like, I just really don't feel well. I go to sleep and I wake up in the middle of the night pissing blood, feeling so unwell. I have like a fever. Like I'm like so unwell. And then my hamstrings starting to like spasm and it's like in so much pain. I ended up getting rhabdomyces from that stupid electrode machine. Because they turned it up so high, I literally destroyed my hamstring. Yeah.
That sounds awful. I mean, I've seen that stuff before because that's like the concept is you're supposed to be like the stimulation that the electrodes give you. You're supposed to be able to get like a intense workout without actually like moving a lot of weight or doing a high intensity thing. Damn, that sounds awful.
And then someone told me recently, they're like, yeah, my new like partner owns blah 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 company, and I'm like, I'm so glad. Yeah. I keep my mouth shut. So I'm like, this is kind of awkward. I'm like, I hate your man's company.
Yeah, they
ruined my hamstrings.
Yeah.
Kept, got me out of commission for like 3 months on deadlifts.
I should have fucked you up. I remember there was one year they had the CrossFit Games in LA and it was outdoors. And there was like 3 or 4 competitors that got rhabdo, including I think a girl from Albuquerque. I can't remember her name. Yeah, it was too hot. And CrossFit's so intense, as you know. But it was just really, really hot outside. Like it was outdoors in LA in like in the summer. It was a terrible idea. But yeah, I remember like athletes like actively, I'm like, oh my God. Cause like I said, there was a girl from Albuquerque that made it. I can't remember Maddie. I want to say Maddie something. Anyway, yeah, she ended up getting rhabdo.
It seems like the CrossFit people need to hire the like logistical teams from the triathlons, because the triathlons are way more strategic. They'll cancel them like if the water's too hot or if the temperature's not right. But like the CrossFit people are like, we don't care. We're just gonna like,
that makes it more intense.
We're just gonna push the athletes to their limit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You know Hannah Black?
I don't know Hannah Black.
The coach, we had it on it for a little while. a very fit blonde girl. She was just in the CrossFit Games when they were in Fort Worth. She's part of a team out of San Diego. But I was talking to her because they had an athlete pass away. Yeah, and that had nothing to do with like how extreme everything was. It was just a total unfortunate circumstance.
I don't know. Some people say it's the water that was too hot after everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I say they never really like came clear with like what it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know people that worked the event and they said that it's the water, but I don't know. I believe that.
A lot of other swimmers went in there.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, it's that they weren't able to cool off. So like, yeah, the other people were fine, but it's like a whole bell curve. Like, okay, the other people were fine, but like this one athlete, it was just too much for them.
Well, from my understanding, and I haven't looked into it this much, but from my understanding,
speculation here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's all hearsay. Don't quote me on that. But no, from my understanding, that individual had some cardio issues in the past. Not cardio like he wasn't trained, but like
cardiovascular issues. Yeah.
Cardiovascular issues. And so some people obviously are speculating it had stuff to do with that. But again, I according to what Hannah said, she's like, yeah, they never really told us like what the cause of death was. Easy to say it was probably just he inhaled water or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild scenario. But I guess I'd rather get rhabdo than die.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, you can die from rhabdo. It could definitely kill you.
I actually know somebody. This is probably one of the most wild fitness stories you'll hear in a while. So they owned a gym. They opened up the gym and they did a grand opening. I love you. I'm going to keep you confidential. So they were like, all right, we're going to do a 24-hour opening. We're going to swing kettlebells for 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And every hour, like different people would come in, but like they're the owner of the gym. Like they need to like set the example. Like this is technically a 24-hour group class if we're going to look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm a fundamentalist. Like you got to things need to make sense in the most simple form. 24-hour grand opening workout. Something's not going to go right.
Yeah.
So he's like swinging the kettlebells. I think it's like hour like 7 or something and just having fun. It's a huge event. The dude ends up getting rhabdomyces in his low back.
Ugh.
And his low back literally so I feel like we maybe didn't do a great job. The rhabdomyces is literally your muscle tissue dying.
Yeah.
And you're having like too much stress on the fibers themselves and they're literally tearing and these proteins are getting in your bloodstream and they can like mess up your kidneys and stuff and like cause a bunch of issues. But they ended up having to slice open his low back and he has the craziest scar. And this is the only reason why I know this story.
Yeah.
Because we were hanging out one day, I think it was at the beach. And I was like, dude, what happened to your back? Like it literally looks like they just opened it up so that they can get all of like the dying tissue out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Kettlebell swings.
Kettlebell
for
swings.
24 hours.
Oh, man. I mean, that makes me think. Have you read or listened to David Goggins' book?
Oh, my gosh. I have not. I am also not the demographic for David Goggins. His toes. Yeah. That's all you need to know.
The toes, yeah.
Toes, bigger shoes.
Yes. But he also talks about like doing, I think it was maybe a 24-hour pull-up, like trying to set the record for like most pull-ups in the world, like ever. And it's one of those things where like he kind of like started like his hands were peeling off and like shit like that. I'm like, like I get it. I understand and I kind of like I see the value in the message you're trying to push out there. But then he talks about like doing his first like 100-mile like century run. And he's like, I was shitting blood, but I just kept going. Like all this, like my body's excreting all this stuff. I'm like, ugh. He's like, yeah, my wife at the time was taking care of me and blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, that is so gnarly. But again, there's some people that it's like, that's the message they needed to hear to get them started. And I support that. And I always tell people, because my aunt actually sent me the Goggins book. She's like, hey, she's a nurse. And she sent it to me. She's like, yeah, I think you'd really like it. So I when I first moved out to Texas, and this is like right before I started On It, I'm out there like running in the rain and shit and down in New Braunfels, and I'm listening to the Goggins book. I'm like, this is a little extreme, but it was great. Like, and the fact that like she sent it to me, I was like, yeah, I see why she sent it to me. Like, 'cause I was in like MMA and stuff like that, and I loved that she did send it to me because it was so cool. But it was one of those things where I'm like, he's too extreme for 99.8% of people in the world.
I just want him to go to a shoe store so they could properly fit him and give him like one size bigger.
Yeah, his feet are so nasty.
Something ain't right with the shoes.
Yeah, but then he talks about how like he was about to like shut everything down as far as like physically because his body was just shutting down, which is like, yeah, shocker. But then he like got into this like very extreme, like, and I shouldn't say extreme, but like this very in-depth stretching regimen. Yeah, and it like changed his life. Yeah, so it's like, all right, cool. Like that's great. But there, it does show the balance. Like, yeah, you can drive your engine, you can drive your car, but don't forget to service it. Like,
Yeah.
don't forget to change the oil, the tires, check the brakes. Like, don't just red line it all the time.
It's funny that you mentioned that because as I was driving here, I was hauling because we're in the country. And I was like, ooh, my car's driving real nice today, but I need to get it maintenance. And I love getting my car maintenance. And I just thought about it randomly. I was like, why do I love getting my car maintenance? And it's like, it's that sense of like, you want to like be grateful for the things you have and make sure that like things are well oiled and that they're like, you're investing into things. But I feel like the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So I feel like that's like a great reminder for myself, like, take care of all the things in your life.
Yeah.
Make sure like everything's well watered, your plants, your body, your joints, stretch, do your
Yeah.
little things.
There's a correlation. Yeah, quality fuel.
Quality fuel.
Yeah.
I have a Honda though. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, same. I also drive a Honda. That thing will last. That thing will probably be around longer than I am. But there's a very good like correlation between your body and your vehicle.
Yeah.
And like how you maintain your vehicle and how you maintain your body. And again, the quality of fuel you put into it and the maintenance you do to it. Because again, you can redline it and drive it fast, but how long can you do that for before things start to fall apart? And it applies to both your body and your vehicle. And I like to drive fast in my vehicle, not my body. I always tell people like, I've been saying this for years. I was like, I'm a Cadillac, not a Porsche. Like I just like to cruise.
And you drive like a boat.
Yeah, no, I definitely drive like a bat out of hell, but my body I treat like a Cadillac. Yeah, I cruise.
Brava.
Yeah. So what's coming up for you this year? You got any big events coming up? I know you doing any events with like Adidas or anything?
I actually don't have anything on my work itinerary and it's stressing me out when it comes to them. I love having big projects on the horizon, but I guess we're just swinging it this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last like out of country like event you did?
I hosted a retreat in Croatia this summer, and that was absolutely beautiful.
It looked beautiful.
And then what else? I went back to Croatia because it was so beautiful. And I wanted to do a solo trip there because since I went there for work, I'm like on an itinerary the entire time, making sure I'm like hosting and, you know, not trying to be late for things. So I went back and just chilled, and it was so serene, so relaxing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I was actually talking to Tara about this, because I think she's doing a retreat soon, but it's all like an all women's retreat. And I was like, man, I would love to like host a retreat, but I was like, I have no idea what I would do because everything I do like in the gym is so fundamental, like strength and conditioning, like especially because I work with a lot of athletes. So like I don't do a lot of like, all right, let's go flow with a mace or a slush rope or whatever. And I'm like, who's gonna like? No one would go to a retreat to like, all right, let's figure out how to like deliver and absorb power properly and make sure we're structurally strong in fundamental like foundational positions. Like no one does a retreat for that. But I'm like, I'm just looking for an excuse to like work and travel.
Maybe the boys just want to have some adventure.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Although my buddy wants to go to Antigua in August for their like Carnival.
Ooh. And also too, I think one thing about retreats, it's like, obviously you know this, like it's what you make it. But my first retreat ever, I did it with this small little, I guess they're kind of like a homestead kind of vibe in Costa Rica, but they had a huge property and they had sweat lodges on their property too. So that was part of the experience. So it was a little bit more like woo-woo vibe, and that's usually not something I would arrange.
Yeah.
But it was actually so beautiful, and all of us got to connect so well, and we would go like horseback riding together. Of course, we did have like playful movement sessions that were facilitated by me. But it was just a little bit way more down to earth. Like we would like stretch, have our little class. And then what else did we? Oh, we even went and planted trees. Like we like replanted some mangroves. Like we had like our whole like little ecological day. So yeah, I feel like sometimes just like getting back to nature while moving your body is like all you need. You don't need like a crazy like, oh my God, we're going to learn animal flow in the jungle and learn handstands. Like that just makes it better.
Sure. Yeah. That enhances the experience. All right. Well, next retreat you host, if you need a male presence, like let me know.
Come on
I'll be. What do you think? I mean, is Croatia the most fun you've had like on a retreat?
I think the group in Croatia was a little bit small. So I feel like a lot of times like just it's dependent on the group and the vibe. I'd say the most fun retreat, Colombia. The
You
group
did a
was,
retreat in Colombia?
I did a retreat in Colombia.
Oh my
And we went to
gosh.
Cartagena and we went to Santa Marta. And that group was just so fun. It was all women and one man. And we love him. We're still great friends. He came to work out with me at On It like 3 weeks ago or
Oh
something.
wow.
So we're still super close. And all the ladies always ask about him. They're like, tell Brentley I miss him. And tell Brentley I hope he's doing well. But he's like a girl's girl. So
Yeah.
he did really well on the
girl's
trip with them. He's a girl's girl.
That's hilarious. I was gonna say, damn, must have made quite an impression.
He honestly, like, because sometimes I feel like if you have a group that it's like mostly women and like a couple guys, it can go either way. Like I've had a retreat before where like the one guy didn't really mesh with all the women, and it seemed like they were just there to like have their own fun. Like, it's a long story, but not all the guys click well with the group.
Sure.
But in the Colombia group, it was phenomenal. We went to a Cuban club and we're like dancing. We went and we're like dancing on the boat, speedboat vibe. It was just so much fun. And we worked out every day.
Well, I think you and I should plan a retreat in Colombia
Let's go.
after this. So I'm gonna start hashing out the details. I think I'm going back in April or May.
Ooh.
Yeah, my cousin hit me up. She's like, yeah, you guys should come out. I was like, say less, I'm there. So yeah, I think we're going back out there. I've only been to Bogota, and that's where I will go back to. But I want to like make it like a 10-day trip and do like 5 days in Bogota and 2 days in Barranquilla and 2 days in Santa Marta and a day in Cartagena.
I think you should flip it. And instead of doing more time in Santa Marta, do more time in Cartagena.
Okay.
Cartagena's more fun. I feel like Santa Marta's more chill.
Okay.
You want to do Cartagena.
Okay.
That's where they have like the nightclubs and the bars and the dancing and
Yeah.
the whole shebang. And they have an old town there that's really beautiful too. So you
Oh,
want to
nice.
stay in the old town.
That's what I've heard. It's more like if you want to, and I guess that's why Cartagena might be a little more touristy, is because like if you want a true like taste of Colombia, like go to Cartagena is like what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to Medellin. One of my buddies works for BioAccelerator, the stem cell company out there. I want to go like, check out their facility and stuff like that, but also just see like, I've only seen it on Narcos, you know what I mean?
Are you going to get an injection?
I kind of want to, yeah. I mean, I don't have 25 grand to spend on that because I think that's like the minimum in BioAccelerator, but who knows? Maybe someday I'll get famous and they'll just fly me out there to be an influencer. Yeah.
Tell them to hook it up.
I'll be the next John Wolf.
I need some stem cells in my foot, so I'll take it.
Yeah. I feel like my shoulder, maybe I just need a new shoulder. Is that a thing yet? Can I get shoulder replacement surgery?
Probably in a couple years.
In a couple years. Yeah. I'll ask Elon, be like, hey, you guys got those Tesla shoulders? Might be a thing. They're building is it Tesla or X that they're building out here like the headquarters for? Like Bastrop's about to blow up because they've already like closed on like all the acreage they're going to need for it.
I don't know. Is it like another Tesla factory?
I think it might be the X headquarters. Yeah. Formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, I think they're building it out here. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like the golf course out here. They already like started doing like a bunch of renovations too and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, wow, this is about to blow up out here.
Oh.
Yeah. Good time to be out here. Like I said, I know it is out in the country, but I like the country. That's why I was asking a lot. I was like, did you grow up in Miami? Because like where I grew up in New Mexico was like super country. We used to party
Really?
in the cornfields. Yeah.
Oh, I would never expected that.
Oh, really?
No.
What would you have expected?
I don't know. When people say Albuquerque, I assume that it's all like some urban sprawl with like parking lots everywhere and like shopping centers.
Yeah, that's Albuquerque is kind of like that, like kind of like maybe like a Tucson, but ghetto. But I grew up in Moriarty, which is like 45 minutes outside of Albuquerque.
Okay.
So it's like the Bastrop to Albuquerque is where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up out there. I mean, I think the whole town had maybe like 8,000 people in it.
My high school had almost 5,000.
My high school had like 1,100 and my graduating class was like 60 or 80 people.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I almost wasn't one of them. I almost didn't make it. But my high school was like, man, like there's so many like awful stories about like shit that happened in high school with people. Like I had a friend's sister like flip a 4-wheeler and it like crushed her skull. Like she died. Like it was very country. Like people would like die from that kind of shit out there.
Good, because I'm scared of 4-wheelers.
Oh, I love 4-wheelers.
Oh.
I had a buddy that had his name was Daniel Barbarito, and super Italian guy, but he grew up in Moriarty. Or he didn't grow, he moved out there in mid school. But his family had like this little lot of land, and there was an old shed on the land, and they got permission from the county to like tear down the shed and kind of like condense it into one pile and burn it. And they got like a big like tank out there. It wasn't a fire truck, but it was from the fire station. It was like a huge ass water tank to eventually put it out when it burned down. But when they compressed it all into a pile, it happened to make like 2 perfect ramps on each side. So once they lit it on fire, we jumped it a couple times in the 4-wheeler. And again, that's a story I'm very like glad I lived to tell the tale, because that's kind of shit where like someone would die like where we lived.
So you were tipping cows for sure, for fun.
I was doing that, yeah, because we would party in the cornfields, and we'd also fight in the cornfields. Like we just referred to it as the spot.
That is wild.
Yeah, meet me at the spot. Or there was a gazebo. There was a little park like right in the center of town, and that was another spot like people would meet up to fight, was at the gazebo. So like you either meet at the gazebo or you meet at the spot if you wanted to fight, like not at school.
Wow. Yeah.
Super country.
Super different experience. In Miami, I would like skip school and go be a beach bum.
Yeah. I wish.
That was the vibe.
No, if I skipped school, it's probably because like my truck ran out of gas, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not going today. Yeah, I drove a 72 Chevy pickup in high school.
That's so cool.
I loved it. I wish I still had it. The gas gauge didn't work, so like I actually did run out of gas several times. But that's why I learned to like drive stick on. It had 4 on the floor. You never used first gear. It was only for like towing. So you'd start it in second gear, and it was just second, third, fourth, reverse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super cool truck. Like I would love to get that truck today and like slowly renovate it.
My whole perception of you and your aesthetic now is just so different now that I know you have like a country background.
Yeah, it's hotter.
I could see like sticking your arm out with a little straw, and like your windows don't roll up, so it's like nice and hot, AC.
Like I got that like good glisten going. I'm not like really sweating, but I'm glistening. I'm tipping my cap to the ladies as I drive by. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was homecoming king. Yeah, our high school mascot was a horse.
Sense. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were the Pintos, not the shitty little Ford car Pinto, but like an actual horse, which is a spotted horse, or a pinto bean. And that's what a lot like the joke we'd always get, like, oh, you guys are pinto beans. It's like, no, it's a horse.
Pinto horse.
Yeah, pinto horse. We were the fighting pintos. We were like Kelly green was the official color, Kelly green and white. Oddly enough, like we had a couple guys from our baseball team go pro. Like our baseball team was really good. None of our men's sports were really that good. Like wrestling was pretty good, but it was your typical country town. But in New Mexico, football's not big. So it's not like a Texas country town where like the football's still really good. New Mexico football is not that big of a sport. People still love it, but like everyone in New Mexico is like me. They're 5'8", short Hispanic guys. Like no one's going to the NFL with this build.
But I feel like having that baseball like fanaticism is almost like more old school Americana.
Yeah,
I like that. It's really cute.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's as American as apple pie and baseball and Chevrolet. And I drove a Chevy pickup in high school. You know, I was an all-American boy. Not really though, because I was Hispanic. But yeah, that was where I grew up.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Out in the fields.
Out in the cornfields, fighting and partying. Yeah. So I never fought. I've never been in a street fight.
You've never been in a street fight?
Never. Every fight I've been to has been a sanctioned, legal fight. Every fight I've been in.
That makes me worried.
Worried? Why?
We gotta put you in a street fight.
Yeah. See how I handle myself? I think if I can handle myself in a ring, I can handle myself in a street. I'm probably more equipped to handle myself in a street fight. I've never had like an issue come up. There was one time in Albuquerque, and apparently it's because I was wearing a Minnesota Twins hat, which I'm not even a Twins fan. I just liked the hat, and I liked the catcher at the time, Joe Mauer. I was wearing a Twins hat, and it had a TC for Twin Cities on it. And apparently there was like some shitty gang in Albuquerque called Thugs Causing Chaos, and they wore TC hats. And so I'm leaving a bar that's not even there anymore. It's called Maloney's. It was downtown. Downtown in Albuquerque is like where you want to go if you want to get stabbed. There's like, I would have friends and family visit, and they're like, let's go downtown. I'm like, nope. Like, Albuquerque
not allowed.
Is not a good downtown scene. But anyway, we're downtown because that's what young boys do there. And I'm wearing like a Hurley shirt, jeans, Nikes, and a Twins hat. Nothing wild. And I'm walking out, and this like 5'5", 300-pound, like short little Hispanic dude just shoulder checks the shit out of me as I'm walking by. And I was already pretty buzzed. And I was like, the hell, man? He just like starts yelling out like random gang shit at me. He's like, West Side, homie, West Side. I was like, what? He's like, it's all about the West Side. I was like, what are you talking about? And my friend steps in. I still had no fucking clue what he was saying. He's like, no, he's just a Twins fan. I was like, what are you talking about? And then like the next day, someone explained it to me online. I posted it on Facebook. I was like, what the hell is this about? And someone's like, oh, there's a gang that wears these hats around town. And I was like, that's Albuquerque.
They should stick another C on it though, because it's supposed to be like TCC.
It should be, yeah. I don't think there's any like Major League Sports that have a TCC. I was like, why don't they wear like some basketball hats? Nobody wears basketball hats. Like everybody wears baseball hats. Like go fucking link onto a basketball team and rep their hats because nobody's wearing that shit. But other than that, I've never like even come close to like a street fight. I've never had altercations. Like I just get along with everybody.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not like avoiding it, but like I've just I don't know. I make friends everywhere I go.
And I feel like that's a very like fighter cliche. Like I think a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, like this person like has done MMA, like they should be like super like aggressive and probably not friendly. I'm like, I don't know. Like 98% of fighters that I know are like the nicest people you ever meet and like super friendly.
Right. Yeah, you look at like Dallas or like Andrew Craig, and like these guys are fucking hilarious, super nice guys, but also lethal. Yeah, and I always tell people, I'm like, I don't know. There's been maybe one fighter that I've ever met that likes to fight. Other than that, like fighters don't like to fight.
It's funny that Dallas is the first person you mentioned, because Dallas and I, we like to work out at the same time. So I always see Dallas like midday, awkward time. And I went with my client one day, and my client, we were like chatting up or whatever. And Dallas can speak like very like elementary, pretty good, but like elementary Spanish.
Yeah. Well, his wife's from girlfriend's from Colombia. Yeah.
So he was like chatting us up, and then he walks away, and I told my client, I'm like, oh, he's like a really legit fighter. And she looks at him and his body, and she goes, he's a fighter? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's lethal, actually.
He's lethal.
He's insane. And especially, too, I feel like a lot of people that don't know, going back to biomechanics, a lot of people that aren't familiar with, like, what levers are, and tall people, they have a great benefit. Even if they look lanky and all skinny, like, they do that little 1-2, the little torque.
Yeah.
And they'll get you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, with it being, like, especially because he's what's considered a striker, like, he does a lot of, I mean, his grappling is good, too, but with him being so lanky, like his striking is really nasty.
Yeah, I'm sure that reach is too. Is like,
yeah. That's why I tell people about John Jones, because like if you were to see him just like walking down the street and you had no idea who he was, you'd look at like his levers and like how long he is and how like skinny his like legs are. You'd be like, that's kind of like a awkward looking dude, or just like a normal like non-athletic looking dude. And then he's like the perfect build for a fighter. Like it's like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps has such an awkward build, but you look at it, but it's perfect for water. It's like, that's John Jones for fighting. That's Dallas's build. Yeah, it's one of the things. I have a client, her husband trains with Dallas, like hits mitts with him. And she's like, Dallas is like good? I was like, yeah, Dallas is nasty. And then she's like, oh yeah, I saw him come out of the sauna the other day. And I was like, he actually is like, he just have little like nice chest and this. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure you did see him come out of the sauna the other day. Those big blue eyes.
They're like gawking.
Yeah. Dallas? But Dallas is a man. He's a good dude. I like Dallas a lot. I like Andrew a lot. But like you said, most fighters are pretty chill, mellow people. I don't know too many that are like, ooh, this guy's dangerous to be around. Yeah, maybe back in the day, like Chuck Liddell was probably like a scary guy to party with, but I don't know anybody like that now.
I think one person that I've heard that is not the nicest, you know what? I'm not even going to go there, but Masvidal. Masvidal, he's also from Miami.
Yeah, Cuban. He's super Cuban. Yeah. Yeah, but he used to do like the street fighting stuff. Like he's through and through like gangster. Like he was on like the Kimbo Slice videos.
Which might be maybe why he's a little bit rougher around the edges. Yeah. Like he's a street fighter, old school. Those videos are iconic though. Those yard videos from like 2007.
Yeah. I knew what that was way before I was like into anything into MMA. Like I knew who Kimbo Slice was. And then I remember him like getting on to like the Ultimate Fighter, and he was like the first, not even like celebrity, but like people were like, oh yeah, this guy's like, and Dana White always used to joke, he's like, yeah, Kimbo will always be the toughest guy at the barbecue. Like he's a tough guy, but he's not a great fighter when it comes like the skill of fighting. But he still put on like some pretty epic fights. R.I.P. because he's passed now. I think his son still fights for Bellator. Yeah, I remember those Kimbo videos, and then Masvidal came out of those as well, and he obviously had a pretty great career. Nothing in like, I don't think he was ever like an official champion, but he fought for the belt a couple times. Like, good dude. Not a good dude, but like, I don't know him. But he might be a great dude, he might not be. But like, he was always fun to watch. That's what I mean by that. Like, he was always fun to watch. He fought my former boss, Cowboy Cerrone, and that was like a very interesting fight because at the time, like, not a lot of people knew who Masvidal was. And I think Cowboy might have even like spoke to that, like, who the fuck is this guy kind of thing. And then Masvidal ended up beating him. Pretty good.
Pretty sure I watched that one. It was good.
Yeah, Miami's wild. There's some good fighters that come out of there. Or like, Florida has a couple really good like training camps.
Street fighting is real down there.
Yeah. Same in Albuquerque. Like people are always like, oh, why is like fighting such a big thing in Albuquerque? I was like, because like I just said, nobody with my build is going to the NFL unless they're a kicker, maybe. But like there's maybe two or three professional baseball players out of Albuquerque, one pro football player. But most guys are built to fight, like these short Hispanic dudes that like wrestled in high school, and it's just a very tough place to be. So fighting is there, and then it's also mile high altitude. A lot of people don't know that, but Albuquerque is mile high. Yeah.
So since you're a baseball player, like how'd you get into fighting?
I got into fighting actually after I got divorced. My dad, when I was younger, always would like tell me like, oh, you should, watch these Bruce Lee movies and you should get into like karate and stuff. But more so he wanted me to just get into like martial arts so like for like confidence. And like my dad loved that kind of stuff because he just thought it was so badass. So I used to watch a lot of boxing with him back in the day.
And that's like that mental element too of it.
There's so much confidence. Like I shit you not, when I got into fighting, I got better at baseball because I didn't take it as serious. Yeah, I was like, oh, fighting is serious. Like baseball's fun. But yeah, after I got divorced, I started training a fighter, a UFC fighter. She was number one in the world at that time. Her name's Claudia Gadelia. And her coach invited me in. And it was something that I was always interested in, but I didn't know jack shit about. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come check out a class. And then I just loved it. And being an athlete, like you want to compete and you want to compete well. And like I hate like when I try shit and I'm not good at it. So I got decent at it, and to a point where my coaches like thought it was a good thing for me to fight. And that's how I got into it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's funny. People that knew me in high school and then people that knew me like, there was like that in the mid-20s where I just disappeared. Like when I was married, like I didn't hang out with my friends. It was like typical like tale as old as time, like the shit you don't want to hear. But I got married, stopped hanging out with my friends. I kind of stopped hanging out with my family as much too, which is like not like me at all. But like people that knew me in high school and then knew me after the divorce, like when I got into fighting, they're like, oh shit, like Nick got into fighting. Again, I was always just like quiet, go with the flow guy in high school. And I still am. But I just like to fight now.
Now you got a little edge to you, little 1-2.
I guess. Yeah. How am I still single? What is this? This wild to me. Yeah.
Same.
Same. Yeah. Same, but different. Yeah. So what's like on the docket for you, like training wise? Yeah, like because you do a lot of stuff online.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to reconfigure that because I feel like I'm in a place in my life where the whole reason I got into training was like, about this training professionally was just to help people and be like a steward of fitness, like help people on their journey. And I really love working with people one-on-one and in person. So like the online stuff doesn't fill my cup. Yeah. And I've really been struggling with it for a while. And don't get me wrong, like there's been times where like, I'm like, oh, like this is fun. But like, would I ever say that it's ever been as fulfilling to me as like my true work, my personal training in person? Absolutely not. Yeah. And I'm not the type of person that's really motivated by external things. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by clout. I'm not motivated like by anything external. Like I'm actually a lot more introverted than people think. So like for me, things have to be like very like intrinsic. And like for me, like feeling like my work is like getting like, not that it's even valued because people online value my work too, but like I'm not there and like that consistency element's missing. So like I'm truly able to do my job when I show up and I hold you accountable and we're making sure that we're like, crossing all the T's and dotting your I's, I think from a training perspective, because if I send somebody a program, like they might not do it half of the time and that's absolutely fine, but that's not fulfilling for me. Yeah. Like I'm results driven. If I don't see results, I'm not happy. Yeah. So I've kind of been struggling with that. And I really want to just go back to like my true like why and like kind of like drown out like any buzzing noise or like any background noise. And I think like in our industry, like anything, you want to be like well-rounded and you want to like have like multiple streams of income and you want to like do all these things. But like I don't know if it's working for me anymore. Yeah. And like I think I'm fine in it, but like it doesn't make me happy. So at the end of the day, I'm like, why am I doing something that like doesn't make me happy? I could be making money doing something else too. Right. So I've just kind of been struggling with it, and I'm releasing a new program in literally 5 days, and it's badass. It's what I've been working on. So I've had like 18 months of really badass programming, and I kind of condensed it into something digestible. So I'm really excited to share it, but I don't know, like what makes my heart throb, it's like working with my one-on-ones. Like even group classes didn't do it for me. So I had this realization with group classes maybe like 4 years ago, and like I stopped doing group classes, and I'm like, it's not for me. Yeah. So I'm kind of in that like self-searching, like just for like not even purpose. I know my purpose, but like not doing things that don't serve me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's so important, especially like for me, like as I grow older, I'm like, okay, this is almost like lip service, like to an extent, even as if we're doing it like physically as we're representing ourselves. If it doesn't really like fill my cup, like I'm like, no. Yeah. But like I'm the same as far as like I love the in-person stuff, and obviously, like you said, in our industry, like everyone's like, oh, you got to have an app, you got to do this, you got to do that, and that's great because it does help people. But like
all of my online clients are people that I initially started with in person. But even then, like, it's still like, yeah, I'll write you a program and I will, receive your payment, but it's not the same. It's not, I like seeing it in person. I like seeing like that, like, aha moment when something like, oh, that's what it should feel like. And it's like, oh, or you start to see like, you hear stories like, man, I couldn't do this a year ago, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I love that. That's what, again, like financially, sure, like I could be doing other things. I remember, and I think I've told the story before, but like I used to work at Discount Tire. I fucking hated it. But great company. I'll always take my car there, but it was just a tough job. And my former boss at the time, I coached baseball with him, so he got me set up with the job. And he started training me on the front desk. And that year, as the manager of the store, he made like $190K with his bonuses. And I was like, okay, like that's a great amount of money. But I was like, dude, I cannot stand this job. Yeah, and it's one of those things like I will happily choose like waking up happy every day and not going. I used to go to bed like, fuck, man, I have to be at work in 7 hours. Like that is miserable. And then it just festers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just bad energy that just like continues to build and build. And it's one of those things I'm like, you might not realize in the moment, but it starts to like physically manifest. Like your posture gets bad. You get a gut, like you just look sad in your eyes. It's like, I don't want to be, avoidant of life. Like I want to do something that, again, fills my cup every day.
And it's funny that you said that, because same thing for me. Like before I got into personal training, I was working at a desk job and I really didn't like it. It wasn't fulfilling for me. And it was one of those jobs where it was structured. Like I was probably only doing like 15 hours of actual work and just sitting around, like killing time for the whole week. So it's really getting under my skin. And I'm the type of person too, like I can be very productive. Like I'll get things done quick. So I was just festering. And then just to like flash forward, like I guess it's almost 10 years now. And I'm like, okay, like I'm in a career that I love, but now I'm back at a desk because that's what's going to be like most productive, or that's what's going to be like the most profitable. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't care anymore. I just don't want to be at a freaking desk.
Yeah. It's not for me.
Same.
Like this is nothing I've never been good with computers. Like, and this is the one, I was telling this story yesterday, actually, to Cody at the front desk at the gym. He was telling me like how to do something on Canva, which he made look very like elementary. And I was like, man, this was the only time in my life I ever got like preferential treatment for being an athlete. In college, I'd sit there in my computer class and I'd legit have like questions for the teacher. I'd be like, hey, I'm sorry, how did you do that? And she would like come over and she'd be like, all right, you just click here, and do this and click submit and you're good to go. And I'm like, what the fuck? You submitted my assignment for me, but I have no idea what you did. So one of those things, like I Excel, PowerPoint, like I don't know any of that shit. Like I can check my email and do programs and that's about it. I belong in the country.
You do belong in the country.
Give me horses, give me land and maybe some chickens and I'll be all right. Yeah, not me though. So like I said, I never like doing the stuff online, but in person is really where I thrive.
Same.
Yeah, and that's kind of talks like I've had with like Larry and like Ty over the years of the managers over at On It. It's like I love the group fitness stuff, but like where I really excel is like when I get to do individual programming.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's like a puzzle for me. Like doing like programs for each client, I'm like, all right, how do we piece this together and make these workouts like complement each other to get this person where they want to go, whatever their goal may be, and that stuff's fun.
And
I love
think
that.
That's where we definitely see eye to eye, because I think what's beautiful about group class is community. But like if you're a results-driven person, the results in a group class are going to be slim to nothing. Like people are going to work out.
Yeah.
But like if I know you work with David is his name, with this little 20-year bum ankle issue.
Yeah.
That's a puzzle. Because at the end of the session, you're like, okay, I want him to leave better than he came in. We can't flare up an issue. And then we got to make sure like all the other things that aren't that ankle are getting worked. And like, is it matching? Like, are we not overtraining something that you're doing like on your free time or with your work or whatever it is? So those puzzles for me are like.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jen Elam over the PT at On It has worked like miracles with his ankles. Like she's gotten him into like a really good position. Working with him, like at first it was really intimidating. He's one of my best friends now, but at first, him being the former professional athlete that he is, I'm like, this guy's worked with like the best strength and conditioning coaches out there. I was like, what am I gonna like bring to the table? And I mean, him and I we trained together for like 3 years. And he's always telling me like, he's like, oh dude, like thank you for the stuff you do. And like, He's like, it's not just like the stuff you do in the gym, but just thank you for being a good person, this, that, and the other.
He's so sweet. I love him.
Yeah, everybody loves David. He's a great guy. And like I said, he's genuinely like one of my best friends for sure. But around the gym, like everyone loves him, and then they find out who he is, and they're like, oh no shit, he did that. I'm like, yeah, this guy is a legend in the game. Like, the things he did in baseball, it's iconic. Every like World Series time of year, which is like usually October, November, usually October, you'll just see tons of highlights of him from like
beautiful.
what he did. Yeah. Like whether it's on Instagram or even on TV, like during like oh, this is the postseason. There's always highlights of David, like what he did.
All right, I need to tell my little brother that's my homie.
You should. Yeah, and because David is your homie. David loves you. He's like, oh, how's Francheska doing? Yeah, David loves you.
Yeah, my brother's a pitcher.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 18. He's going to start college next year.
Wow, where's he going?
He's really excited. I don't think he's 100% decided, but he just got like a free ride to any like government school or whatever, like a state school in Florida. Yeah.
Very nice. Florida's big time baseball. Anywhere like down south, like Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, like those like baseball players that come out of that area are usually real nasty. Texas and California, like the biggest baseball states.
I forget where it is, but I think it's like somewhere near Tallahassee, like in the panhandle, like country of Florida. Apparently there's like a bunch of football players that come out of this. Remember, have you heard of this? But it's like one of these country bumpkin things. Let's just call it the South because it might not be Florida. But apparently there's like this like small town that produces insane NFL players because they have them chase bunny rabbits from the time they're kids in the cornfields and stuff. Like it's insane.
This is like was it Rocky 2 where he has them chasing the chicken?
Yeah, but it's like that's like that whole town. That's how they train their freaking players.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they have like the craziest athletes because they're chasing rabbits.
Wascally wabbit.
Yeah, from the time you're 10, you're like probably younger.
That might
honestly,
be fun though. Like as a 10-year-old, I would have loved that. Again, my country ass. Like, yeah, hell yeah, we were like out there trying to like shoot prairie dogs.
And think about it, like those rabbits, you have to dive for them too. Yeah. So they're probably like such pros at like
landing properly
and reaching.
There's a lot to be said for that. Again, the first fighter that I trained, Claudia, there was one time she was having me film a workout and I was like, all right, cool. Like now film me. And I was trying to do, it was 53 inches box jump. And it was like a step up jump. I wasn't just like dead stop go because that's wildly impressive. But like I went, I ran, I jumped, and my foot hit the edge of the box like this, and it was a box in the middle of the room. I should have had it up against a wall. So I hit it, and the box just started to tip over, and I fell back, and like I didn't even think about it at the time. But the one thing is, she said it like 5 times. She's like, "Thank God you know how to fall." And I was like, "Yeah," because I did. I kind of like put my arm down, but like rolled into it. But yeah, like you don't want to extend your arm out like that because that you see. I was always told that in snowboarding too. Like, if you fall, don't put your hands out to catch yourself.
I always forget that a lot of people don't know how to fall. And I remember this when I go to the park and I do handstands and random strangers are like, can I do handstands with you? And then we're like in the mood and having fun, but they'll like fling their legs up and then they fall horribly. And I'm like, you cannot do that until you learn how to fall. I've seen people like almost like break their neck. Like they like fall on their shoulder and like their arm collapses. And, like,
reminds me of Joe Dirt when he's like, luckily my neck broke my fall. Yeah, you should maybe carry a waiver around with you for these, because I see you posting your videos of doing handstands in the park and over by Barton and whatnot.
I think once you come into the park, you relinquish your life to nature and the elements.
Yeah, you're just there. You survive.
It's like a duck could kill you, and you can go and I actually almost. It sounds like BS, but I almost drowned once going from one side of Barton to the other just because I almost choked on algae and it looked like poop. And then I started freaking out.
Oh, God.
And I started taking water under or whatever. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I would have freaked out.
Just sucked me under.
Yeah. Well, there's worse ways to go. Maybe. I don't know.
So, yeah, I think you sign away your life when you walk into Barton Springs.
Yeah, probably for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I remember I've only been there once. Yeah. I was surprised at the amount of toplessness. Yeah, it was a wild scene, that's for sure.
Real progressive out here.
It really is. Yeah, again, coming from New Mexico, it's so exciting being out here because there's so many like wild things going on all the time. Like Albuquerque's not a destination unless people are going for Balloon Fiesta, which is awesome because you have like hundreds of hot air balloons all going off at the same time, and the weather's usually like perfect that time of year in New Mexico, early October. But unless you're going for Balloon Fiesta, it's not like a tourist scene. There are cool things. There's White Sands and there's the spiral staircase in Santa Fe, but it's like not, the typical things that people go on like tourist trips for. Like nobody goes to Albuquerque because Led Zeppelin's playing there or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's not a huge music festival there. So like when people come to like being here in Austin, I meet so many people that aren't from Austin.
You know what I didn't know? That our freaking F1 track at Coda is like world renowned.
Yeah, it was the first one in the U.S.
I didn't know this.
Yes. Yeah, I
know.
know.
The turns are crazy and the hills.
It's I think it's shaped a certain way. But yeah, Coda's dope. And that's something that like I also learned moving out here. I was like, oh, they have an F1 track out here. And at the time, now there's one in Vegas, or they turned Vegas into one as part of the Strip is part of it. And then I think South Beach as well. They do a F1 race there.
That one always confuses me.
That one I would love to see. Yeah, but I've never been to Miami. Yeah.
We need a new itinerary for 2025 for you.
There's a couple things I'm checking off the list in 2025.
Barton Springs again.
Oh God.
Colombia, Miami, Cartagena.
Gotta go to Cartagena. Yeah. Miami is on the list though. And then Nashville. I haven't been to Nashville either.
Ooh, Nashville has really good food.
Yeah, I think me and my buddy that like we're not like party animals. But yeah, he's also a big fight fan. He's a Muay Thai fighter back in Albuquerque. So we've been to like Vegas. We went to Vegas. It was the first like big show back. It was Rogan, Chappelle, and Tom Segura at like MGM Grand. And so like we'll go like do that kind of stuff. But we don't go to Vegas like, oh, let's go hit up the nightclub. Let's go do this. Like we're going to Nashville at the end of May. And that's just like kind of like a party city that we wanted to check out, but not to like rave. Just hit up a couple bars and probably eat more food. Yeah.
Go listen to some live music.
Yeah, old white guy stuff. That's what I'm into.
I mean, it's your age group now.
Yeah, that is my demographic. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nice snort on camera. I can't wait for that to go viral. That I can make fun of you. But like I went to go watch Mike Gonzalez. I had him as a guest on the podcast early on, and then I went to go watch him drum at the Continental Club the other night.
Ooh.
And just like the live music scene, I'm like, why don't I take more advantage of this in Austin? It's such a good scene here. And I like I said, I figure we'll probably figure out some more stuff in Nashville to do like that.
Be cute.
Yeah, be cute.
I have food recommendations if you need one.
Nashville or Miami? Both. Yeah, because I do want to do Miami in 2025 at least once. Like I figure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, I think Miami will be like Vegas, to where like I'll go for like 4 or 5 days and just be like sunburnt, hungover, and broke by the end of it. Because that's how I feel when I leave Vegas.
For sure.
Yeah.
At least you'll have a better tan. And there's like really, I mean, I'm sure there are in Vegas too, but like you can go to like a spa, have like a cute Miami experience, something a little bougie, you know, so you feel cute.
Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe find myself a nice Latin woman.
You know?
Yeah. They're out there. Just got to find them.
They're real spicy. Good luck.
Yeah, it's good though, because I'm like so mellow that like it balances out. That's my plan. So no New Year's plans, huh?
No.
Oh, you said you're raving.
Yeah, but that's about it. A little party.
Yeah.
A little dancing.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about like the rest of the week. I'm like, man, we're going to start our partying on a Tuesday. It's a little rough.
Got the club going up on a Tuesday.
Yep.
As whoever sang that song once said.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, I might go to the coast, watch some fireworks down at the coast, but you know, it's like a 3-hour drive, so maybe not.
You should do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I might head down there with the family. But I got to see how the plans unfold. I'm like I said, I'm so like go with the flow kind of guy that I don't really have anything set in stone.
Well, at least we know that you're going to be easy going into 2025.
I'm easy going into everything. Yeah.
We're not going to be doing the craziest resolutions over here.
No, not doing 75 medium or 75 hard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do plan, so I'm doing High Rocks in March. Have you ever done a High Rocks competition?
No.
Would you?
No.
No. I love that. No.
No.
So I know Eric's having to do one, and I know like he was talking to me about Adidas and like how he has to perform at High Rocks, and I'm like, oh damn, that's wild.
Someone asked me to be their partner, but they're like 6'4". Like, don't you share weights and stuff on that?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know anything
because
about
like, you know Anthony from On It, the front of house guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the coaches as well. He's like 6'4", and his girlfriend's like 5'5", 5'4".
Oh, they were partners on it. Oh, I didn't know that.
They were partners, yeah. Yeah, and then like, but I don't know if it is more beneficial to be a little more like size relative, because then you have Mike Gonzalez and Ashley Roberts that killed it. But it's like, yeah, they're a little more similar size. So I'm like, I don't know. But Anthony's gonna be my partner going into the March High Rocks.
What happened with the girlfriend? She didn't want to do it.
Which girlfriend?
Oh, sorry. Who'd you say was gonna be it?
Who? Anthony? Oh, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to do one and be done.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about my girlfriend.
Am I hallucinating? Okay,
No. His girlfriend, Olivia, she's great. But I think they just want to do like the one and done. I think she wanted to do it for the experience, and Anthony's like, no, I want to win this.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that was their first one together. So they got that out of the way, and now, but honestly, I'm probably not going to perform much better than his girlfriend. So.
Why did he choose you?
I know. I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe he thinks my smile will get him places. I know.
He's like, he's strong. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I do have that going for me because we have like worked out together. He's like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, you're strong as shit. Like, I don't have to worry about that. He's like, now we just have to focus on you running.
Your
I was
conditioning.
like, I just run my mouth.
Yeah, for me, it's like not even a performance issue. It's like, I know I'll leave that floor hurt.
Yeah.
Like I go to group classes and I get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I went and watched the one up in Dallas that like recently happened. I'm not gonna lie, it was dope.
You did?
Yeah.
That was dope.
It was dope in the sense, like the events and stuff. Like I'm not a runner. Like I don't do that kind of stuff. But the punishment that people put themselves through, and not like in a Goggins way, but in a way of like, what can my human body do? That's the kind of stuff I'm into. That's one of the things I got it. Like when I really wanted to fight instead of just like training to fight, I was like, yeah, let's see what I can do. Like, let's put it in the hands of something bigger than me. And that's what, like when I was getting ready for my second fight, it was totally different from my first fight. My first fight was in a tournament, and so I didn't know who I was fighting until everybody made weight. But my second fight was like a big promotion, and like it was at a big casino in Albuquerque, and it was in Albuquerque. My first one was in Arizona. But like fighting Albuquerque, it was so like nerve-wracking, and it was so, like emotions that I did not feel in my first fight. Maybe because I lost my first fight, I felt more pressure getting ready for my second fight of like, oh God, I got to win. But I just kept praying. I was like, all right, if it's meant to happen and whatever outcome comes, like, so be it. I will put my work there, and I will show up on the day I need to be there, and whatever happens, happens. Because I would get so much anxiety.
Boy.
Yeah, and so I would pray about it. I'd be like, all right, like take this anxiety from me, and I will just fully follow, like take this leap of faith in this direction and see how it goes. And
did the anxiety go away?
Yes.
Aww.
I meditated a lot. I did a lot of meditating, a lot of praying, a lot of visualization. And the night went almost exactly as I visualized it, other than I always visualized the ref raising my left hand, and in the actual fight, he raised my right hand.
Oh, it was inverted.
Yeah, it was a mirror image. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was one of those things where it was, in that moment, was such like a opening of a floodgate of energy for me, of like so many things started to happen after like I really dedicated myself to like having a vision and having a path, and like almost like blindly following that.
Yeah, like trusting it and like having faith in it.
Yeah, and then in biblical terms, like stepping out of the boat. Like if you want to walk on water, you have to step out of the boat. And so to follow that path, like I said, that's when like things like coming out to Texas, getting into On It, and like that kind of stuff like started to happen for me after that second fight. And I think it was just because I was putting my faith in a bigger plan instead of like small potatoes. Like, all right, let's do something big. Let's do something great. And it's so fun for me to like go back home and like see my friends, because they're like, dude, you're doing such cool shit. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to bring you with me. Like, you got to understand, like, I'm doing this so I can bring my friends and family with me. Like, I want to do great things so that, like, what's the point of, like, I think J. Cole said, like, what's the point of being rich if your homies can't fly with you? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. Like, I want to do cool shit so that I can show you that it's possible for you too.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that because it's, like, so freeing. Yeah, because New Mexico is, like, so, like, small-minded.
Yeah. Especially, too, I think, like, when you're in a community and everyone's doing the same thing, like, you don't think things are, like, accessible to you. And once you see somebody like from your community doing it, you're like, okay, you know, like I can do that. And I think that's kind of how I try to approach like the online work. Like instead of being like, you know what, like we're results driven. I'm like, with the online stuff, if I can just inspire you to think that you can do that, that's where my job is done.
Yeah.
So I think it makes it a lot like more lighthearted.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, that was like one of the big reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, because the way I grew up, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like I was homeless as a kid and like super, super poor growing up.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I've told this probably a dozen times on here, but like my legit earliest memories are in a homeless shelter, the Door of Hope in Glendora, California. Or sorry, I don't think it's Glendora. It might be Pasadena. But yeah, the Door of Hope, it's still there. I look it up every couple of years. I'll go online to make sure it's still there, because eventually, like, I do want to cut them like a big ass check.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to donate to them.
Go volunteer over there or something.
So yeah. Honestly, like if I could, like if I was in a spot where I could like walk away from work for a little while and volunteer, like I would love to help out that, because I know how much it meant to me. But that's like the thing is like I grew up in a way that like I didn't think I deserved nice things. Like growing up in like Moriarty and a single wide trailer that I think has actually since burned down. Like
Wow.
it was just it was in shambles. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I don't deserve the nice car. I don't deserve the pretty girl. I don't deserve to do cool shit because I'm just a little street rat. I'm Aladdin. So like doing this now is like, all right, cool. Like that's what I need to do is like show people like it doesn't really matter how you start. And that's so cliche. It doesn't matter how you start, but it matters how you finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can like I was born into a situation where like I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why like people are like, oh shit, I didn't know you were homeless as a kid. Like, yeah, I was. And like there's other like things that I've gone through that like when I tell people they're like, oh shit, like I did not know that. And it's like that's the point.
Yeah.
Like I very much wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I am a very emotional guy, but I don't wear my scars on my sleeve.
I love that.
Yeah. Like that's if that makes sense. But yeah.
You know, it does. Yeah, you're focused more on like the growth and like the positive aspects that you've gotten out of your life instead of being like, oh, this one thing like really stifled me and like this is why I'm, you know, I struggle. And I think one thing that I really try to really embody this holiday season and like share with my family, it's like yes, people have been through hard things and like yes, people struggle, but like you still need to hold people accountable and like make sure that people are showing up in the best light and like also don't use people's challenges as like excuses and things to enable people.
Yeah.
Like we all go through challenges, therefore we should all strive to be better.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. Yeah, because I think like the term like a victim of your circumstances is the first word is victim. Like it's all about a mindset. Like I want to be a champion of my circumstances. I don't want to be a victim of my circumstances because it has like when I was 21, I stopped playing college baseball because my dad passed away and I was home when he passed away and he died in my arms. Like his last breaths, like I put in his lungs. And it's one of those things like I could use that could have broken me or it could have turned me into who I am today. And it's like, I love my dad dearly. I miss him. Like if I could do anything ever, I would play one more round of golf with him. Like I would love to do that. But it's one of those things like if he was here today, I don't know if I'd be who I am. And I think I've had the realization because that's another thing that like I've really like meditated on and like thought about and prayed about. And I think my dad would have taken that exchange. Like not saying my dad died so I could be who I am today, but my dad would be like, no, I'm proud of who he is today. And if I had to leave for that to happen, then that's the way it should be. Yeah. That's the mindset I've had to develop.
Yeah, but I think the mindset it's validated and like you wouldn't have this experience. Yeah. If they were around.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in Texas. I wouldn't be on it. I would have never trained any MMA fighters. Like who knows? I might still be living at home. I have no fucking clue.
It's funny that you say that like something unfortunate, like you're grateful for it because of the circumstance that you're in now. Because there's this one question people love asking. I'm sure you've been asked it 1,000 times. Anyone listening has been asked this. It's like, if you can go in the past, what would you change? And I always answer it the same obnoxious way. I cannot break the time-space continuum because then it would change my present.
Yeah.
Like, why would I change anything in the past? Like, everything in the past is as, like, happened as it should and, like, is as it should be. Or else, like, today is not the way it should be. Like, yes, a lot of us could be like, oh, I wish today were different. But, like, everything happened for a reason in my perspective. Like, not everybody agrees with that. But, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because, again, I've talked about this before, but, like, I'm so grateful for the hard times because I genuinely enjoy who I am today. And I enjoy where I'm going. And, like, my path and my constant evolution has been such a fun, like, truly fun roller coaster. That without those hard times, it wouldn't be what it is now. And yeah, I'm the same way. Like, cause I've thought about that too. Like, oh man, if I could go back in time, would I have told my dad to like quit smoking? Cause then I would have never met my ex-wife, but then I would have never got divorced and I would have never pushed myself to do that. Like that kind of shit. It's like, yeah, you could go back and try to replay that. It's like, no, if I could go back and change anything, like in my fantasy football team, I would have drafted Saquon Barkley instead of Devontae Adams.
I would have invested in Apple stock when I was like 1 year old.
Bitcoin in 2010. Yeah. I would just put like $20 into it and I would be set. I'd have an island right now. Yeah. But other than that, like, no, yeah, I'm right there with you. Like everything happens as it should. And it's also like that for me, like removes the anxiety of where I'm going. Because where I'm going is not that it's predestined, but it is predestined if I follow the steps that are put in front of me. I will go where I need to be if I follow that path. I could be a fuck up and start doing all kinds of other different things. Like if I follow the path that feels right and feels good,
Yeah.
I know I'll end up where I want to be because that's what's gotten me here today. I think that's a good place to end it.
I love it. Listen to your higher self and stay on the path.
Absolutely. Don't be a fuck up.
Don't do it.
Yeah. But if you were, it happened for a reason. All right. Tell the people where to find you. What the hell to do?
Find me on Instagram. Pretty much my favorite platform.
Yeah.
I'm at Francheska Fit. I have online programs. Slide into my DMs if you want some knowledge or anything about movement. I love sharing tips about movement. So
yeah, that's totally why I slide into your DMs. Yeah, for the movement. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in today. Again, this is the Lion's Pit Podcast. I am your host, Nick Gomez. With me is the lovely Francheska. And again, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Shout out to all the fine people at LSKD for supplying me with the finest workout apparel. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time.